is we do want you, when you come up, to identify yourself, what your address is, and where you vote, and when you voted. That's kind of important to us, so we see how affected those people who voted later on, beyond the time, during the extension that was given by the judges. So as long as that's clear to everybody, if you have any questions, let me know. We have a sign-in sheet for those who wish to speak, and whoever would like. Okay. Is that right? Okay, Jim, first one signed up was Jim Fox. Jim? Microphone up here.
Already? Okay.
We'll let you sit down.
We'll let you sit down if you want, but if you want to stand up.
No, I can stand up.
That boy.
My name's Jim Fox. I live at 286 Seaside Avenue in Black Rock section. I've been living in Bridgeport now for about 17 years, and since I started to vote when I was 20 years old, I haven't missed a vote yet. I haven't missed one vote. I voted every time there was an election. But every time I voted in Bridgeport, I wondered if my vote counted. And every time I went to the polls, there always seemed to be a problem. Something was going on at the polls. Either the poll operators didn't know what they were doing. They were talking. The last election that I went to, they were showing people how to do ballots, showing other candidates' names. It was just a terrible situation. This situation for me in Black Rock this time, we had a monitor standing right there at the machine and watching people put in your vote. I mean, you know, where we had no privacy. To avoid that, you would flip your ballot over upside down and stick it in so the fellow wouldn't see who you were voting for. But he stood there all the time that I was there. But as a resident, I'm very upset with the operation of our election days. They have hurted us time and time again. Too many things are going on. We look like fools to the nation. Why is it always Bridgeport that has a problem on election day? Every single election day, going back to Chris Caruso, who had a terrible time on election day. We don't know what happened to the absentee ballots. People don't know where to vote. People don't know where to go to vote. They're shuffled around, and it's a terrible situation. And I feel, as a voter, I feel very upset because I don't know if my vote counted this time. I was very upset with the situation, okay? And I can tell you, there's too many things going on that really upset me. The whole operation of this city is absolutely backwards. You know, today, just for instance today, in the Connecticut Post, you know, the deputy city attorney announces there will not be a recount of the election. We have to the 25th to recount. Why can't we do that? Why can't we clean it? Why can't we have a nice clean slate and have the people of the city of Bridgeport feel better with a recount? And I'm a Democrat, and I want a recount. And I don't know how many Republicans do, but I for one, would like to see that happen.
Can I ask you where you voted, sir?
Black Rock in Black Rock School. Black Rock School.
And what time did you vote?
I voted early in the morning, around 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's why I want to repeat about trying to tell us where you voted and what time you voted. That would be very helpful. The next one is Karen Jackson.
Okay. Karen Jackson. My residence is confidential, but it's P.O. Box 3194, Bridgeport, Connecticut 06605. I'm a Bridgeport resident. I tried to vote at Bassett High School at 8:30 in the morning. Waited online until 10 and was told there were no more ballots.
At 10 in the morning?
10 in the morning. We were told to come back, but not at what time. I don't have cable vision, so I had no idea when it was announced on News 12 that the polls were open until 10 p.m. So I unfortunately missed the vote that day. However, what bothered me thereafter is the time it took to count the votes. you have 68,000 registrants and 21,000 ballots. That's a problem. And then you reprint and there's still not enough. I think as Bridgeport residents, we need to recall the registrars of voters. They obviously did not administer their duties during the election. The mayor shouldn't be the one that has to step in and say, well, I'm going to do something because you're not doing something, you're staying silent. I placed a petition on Facebook, Go Petition, to send a letter to the Secretary of State to recall the registrars of voters. However, if the Secretary of State cannot compel the next registrars of voters to have the ballots ready, how is it going to be done? What's going to be done? So,
Thank you. Thanks very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Bob Burbank?
Please do. My name is Bob Virgo. I was born and raised in Bridgeport, lived here all my life. Something that Nick Panuzio mentioned, first of all, let me say I did not have a problem at all with this year's election. I vote at Park City Magnet School. I voted at 11 o'clock and there was no problem whatsoever. But something that Nick mentioned when he first gave us the brief synopsis of what's going on here tonight is the training of poll workers. Okay, I've worked at the polls since I retired for a couple of years until I had a very unpleasant experience the last time I worked. During the training, never did I hear, please, you are an election official. Please conduct yourself in a professional manner. And that does not happen at the polls. Unfortunately, the last time I worked an election, it was a primary, August or September of '08, and the moderator of the polling place was actually playing basketball with the checkers. It was a slow, a slow day, but that's not appropriate behavior. And I think if the registrars would say to their trainees, please conduct yourself in a professional manner. That same day that I worked at the poll, I always served as a ballot clerk. I had to leave the polling place to go to get something for lunch because food was brought in only to certain workers. Okay, on my way down the handicap ramp, I fell. I mean, it's okay for me, it's better for me to go up than to go down. And my knee just went out from under me. Luckily, I had my brakes on, but I fell, Reported it to the moderator. He put it in his report, but never did I hear anything from the registrar. Luckily, I'm fortunate enough to have my own health insurance. It wasn't going to be a workman's comp case, but I was hoping that at least the registrar would have called me to follow up to see how I was doing.
Thank you very much.